Welcome back. Have you ever found yourself wondering whether a woman is genuinely into you or just being polite? Attraction is rarely announced out loud. More often, it moves quietly beneath the surface, showing up in gestures and behaviors that most people never pause long enough to notice. That's exactly what this is about. Today, we're pulling back the layers of female psychology to reveal 5 hidden signals that indicate a woman is truly drawn to you. These aren't guesses or generalizations. They're patterns rooted in real human behavior and backed by psychology. Some of them are so understated that you may have witnessed them 100 times without ever understanding what they were telling you. Stay with this all the way through because by the end, you won't just be able to spot these signals. You'll actually understand the science behind why women express attraction this way, and that changes everything about how you navigate connection. Here's why this matters beyond just recognizing interest. When you learn to read these behavioral cues accurately, you stop misreading situations. You stop second-guessing yourself. You start responding with the kind of grounded confidence that actually deepens connection rather than disrupting it. This isn't about gaming attraction or playing psychological tricks. It's about building something real based on mutual understanding and genuine respect. The men who get this right aren't just better at noticing when someone likes them. They become the kind of person women feel truly comfortable around, and that makes all the difference. Before we get into the 5 signs, it helps to understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. Have you ever felt like someone was sending you completely mixed messages? One moment fully present and warm, the next seemingly distant? That confusion usually comes from not knowing how to read nonverbal communication. Women, far more often than men, express attraction through behavior rather than words. Once you understand that, the mixed signals start to make a lot more sense. So what draws women towards certain men in the first place? Evolutionary psychology gives us a solid framework here. Over centuries, women developed an instinct toward men who projected stability, emotional security, and inner strength. And before you assume that means wealth or status, think again. What it really points to is confidence, attentiveness, and the capacity to make someone feel emotionally safe. Here's the key distinction that most men overlook. While men tend to be activated by visual cues, women respond far more deeply to emotional and psychological ones. That means the car you drive or the watch on your wrist carries far less weight than how a woman feels when she's in your presence. When she feels genuinely seen, heard, and valued, it triggers a depth of connection that goes well beyond surface-level attraction. But here's the complication. Women rarely announce this openly. The attraction shows up in subtle, layered behaviors that can be easy to dismiss or misread entirely. That's why pattern recognition matters so much. One behavior in isolation might not mean anything, but when several of these signals appear together consistently, that's when you know something real is developing. Let's get into the first one. The first signal is genuine eye contact. Of all the ways a person can communicate without speaking, the eyes are among the most powerful. When a woman is truly interested in you, her gaze changes. It lingers slightly longer than a casual glance would. It carries a warmth and intentionality that's hard to fake. You might also notice her pupils dilating subtly and her expression opening up in a way that feels inviting rather than neutral. Why does this happen? Eye contact is one of the most ancient forms of nonverbal bonding humans have. Psychologically, it's directly connected to the experience of intimacy and trust. When a woman feels a real pull towards someone, her natural response is to hold his gaze because it signals that she's open, present, and willing to be seen in return. It's essentially her way of saying, without a single word, that she wants a genuine moment of connection. When you notice this, your move is simple but important. Meet her gaze with calm, relaxed confidence. Not a stare that feels aggressive or intense, but a steady, warm presence that communicates you're fully there with her. Add a natural smile, and let the moment breathe. The ability to hold that connection without flinching or looking away nervously is itself deeply attractive. It reinforces the bond she's already reaching for. The second signal is subtle physical touch. This one is easy to overlook because the gestures involved are so small, yet they carry enormous meaning. Pay attention to whether she brushes her hand against yours during conversation, whether she touches your arm to underscore something she's saying, or rests her hand briefly on your shoulder when something makes her laugh. These touches may appear casual or accidental, but they rarely are. From a psychological standpoint, physical touch is one of the most direct bridges between emotional and physical attraction. When a woman initiates these small moments of contact, it's often an unconscious signal that she's comfortable in your space and wants to close some of the distance between you. She's testing gently how you respond. The right response isn't to escalate immediately or make a big deal of it. It's to mirror her naturally. If she's touched your arm, a light, brief touch on her hand or shoulder when you're making a point shows that you're reading her energy and matching it. The goal is to stay within her comfort zone while making it clear you're paying attention. Don't overthink it and don't force it. Authenticity here is everything. When you respond to these small gestures with calm awareness and respect, you show her something far more powerful than enthusiasm. You show her that you understand her and that you operate from a place of genuine consideration. The third signal is active, engaged listening. Watch for this one carefully because it shows up in details. When a woman is attracted to you, she leans in when you speak. She nods, mirrors your expressions, asks follow-up questions that go beyond the surface, and laughs with you in a way that feels genuinely connected rather than polite. She's not just waiting for her turn to talk. She's actually absorbed in what you're saying. This behavior is rooted in a deep psychological drive. When a woman is drawn to someone, she naturally wants to understand him on an emotional and intellectual level. Her full attention becomes her way of signaling that your thoughts and words carry real weight to her. She wants the conversation to keep going. So how do you meet that energy? Be equally present. Don't let your focus drift. Lean toward her slightly when she speaks. Maintain steady eye contact and respond with something thoughtful rather than generic. Resist the urge to dominate the exchange. Ask open-ended questions that give her room to go deeper. When two people are both genuinely invested in a conversation, it creates a rare kind of momentum, one where attraction doesn't just hold, it grows. The fourth signal is playful teasing and flirting. This is where things start to carry a more electric charge. If she's making light-hearted jokes at your expense, playfully challenging your opinions, or sparring with you over something completely trivial and loving every second of it, she's letting you know she's comfortable enough to play, and that's significant. Flirting, at its core, is a psychological tool for testing compatibility and building a sense of shared energy. When a woman teases you playfully, she's creating a space that's exciting and low pressure at the same time. Your best response is to match her energy with humor and ease. Don't try to outshine her or turn it into a battle of wits. If she pokes fun at something you ordered, laugh genuinely and toss something light back at her. The tone should stay effortless and fun. The worst thing you can do is take the bait too seriously, get defensive, or let it flatline into awkward silence. When you respond with wit and warmth, you're showing her that you're someone she can actually enjoy herself around, someone who not only gets her humor, but makes it better. The fifth signal is that she makes time for you. This one cuts through all the ambiguity. When a woman is genuinely interested, she finds a way to be present with you regardless of how full her life is. It might be as simple as agreeing to grab coffee, initiating plans for the weekend, or reaching out for a quick conversation in the middle of a packed day. These choices are never accidental. Time is arguably the most honest currency we have. When someone consistently chooses to spend theirs with you, it reflects something real. Psychologically, it points to both genuine interest and a desire to build something deeper. People don't carve out time for those they don't care about. It's that straightforward. When you recognize this, acknowledge it. Something as simple as expressing genuine appreciation for the time she's made goes further than most men realize. And then match it. Show up fully when you're together. Be attentive, be engaged, and let her feel that her time is valued. Connection grows when both people invest equally, and recognizing this signal early gives you the opportunity to build something with real depth. Now, one important thing to keep in mind: not every friendly gesture is a signal of attraction. A warm smile, a brief compliment, a polite exchange, these can all be expressions of basic courtesy rather than deeper interest. Context is the filter that makes everything clearer. A smile paired with sustained eye contact and an engaged conversation tells a very different story than a smile exchanged in passing. Don't try to build a case from a single behavior. Look for patterns, multiple signals appearing together consistently. That's when the picture becomes clear. And resist the pull toward overanalysis. Obsessively scrutinizing every micro-expression will only make you tense, and tension is not attractive. Stay open, stay grounded, and if you genuinely can't read the situation, it's okay to say something direct and confident like, "I feel like we connect really well. What do you think?" Clarity is almost always better than confusion. When you start to notice these signals, the most important thing you can bring to the moment is authenticity. Not performance, not perfectly calibrated moves, but a genuine, self-assured presence. Respond naturally, let the interaction breathe, and when the moment feels right, take the next step with confidence. Whether that's suggesting you spend more time together, expressing your interest clearly, or simply leaning into the connection that's already there. To bring it all together, the 5 signals are sustained: intentional eye contact, subtle but deliberate physical touch, active and genuinely engaged listening, playful teasing and flirting, and the consistent choice to prioritize time with you. Each of these on its own is worth noticing. Together, they paint a picture that's hard to misread. Start looking for these patterns in your own interactions and let them guide how you respond. Relationships built on real understanding and mutual respect don't happen by accident. They're built by people who know how to pay attention. If this resonated with something you've experienced, share it with someone who could use the perspective